let's take the same first pattern we did and count it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. So what's happening when we do a 5 count, not only are we practicing coordinating our rhythmic skills with our body by counting, but we're also accenting a different note each time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do it with your weaker fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Things like that. And do that kind of exercise on tabletops. If you're in school, you can be, while the teacher is talking, don't tell them that I recommended this. You can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. And try not to get your whole arm involved in the accent either. Don't do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. The temptation will be to do that at first because you don't have the strength in your finger yet to do that. But if you go slowly, and also go back and forth. Don't limit it just to this. I'll put up some other exercises you can do on my website. But for now, also try this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So all it is back and forth. Just like that. And you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you get brave, put your left hand and put that on the note and accent like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Some other exercises that I'd like to show you include an exercise that I kind of made out of an original Brahms exercise, which goes a little bit like this. It's just purely chromatic, but you're using all 5 fingers. Remember not to only accent the first beat like this, but also and things like that. But here's my element of that. Besides going up and down chromatically, what you can do is you can take the first part, and then you can open up your hand. So it's a real contraction expansion exercise. And that's most of what we do when we're playing the piano. It's all about opening and closing your hand. So this is perfect for that. So you go like this. And then open it up and play like a major 7th chord. And then at the top, we do our chromatic thing again. And then major 7th chord down. So, open up, and then close. And what you can do, if you start getting this together, is try it in mirror imaging, so with both hands. It's a perfect exercise for right before you're about to go on stage and you really need to get your hands limbered up and feeling warm. Here's another one that I find really excellent, and this is an exercise where you'll take different chords. You'll start out with a major 6th chord, C major 6th, and you'll play your 3rd and 5th fingers, G and C, E and A, C and G. So it almost sounds like shortening bread, if you know that. So what you can do is you go. And then you'll move one finger to minor, this one. So now. And then you'll move another finger down to make it diminished. And then finally your last finger to make it dominant. Then when you're done with that, you move to the next key. So you start out with major, then make it minor, and then drop another finger here to make it diminished, and then finally drop this finger to make it dominant of the next key. And when you've got that down, you can add your left hand in a mirror image. So that turns out to be like this. And every now and then when you're doing these kind of things, catch yourself to see if you're getting stiff in your elbow. I find when people are doing things that are challenging, there'll be a lot of tension, and it'll be really like, whoa, you know. But if you think about maybe moving your elbow around just a little bit to remind yourself that you want to stay loose, you should be able to like knock your elbow away at any point. So the other thing that I'd like to mention about technique is that it's really important to be able to hold down certain fingers while playing with others. Many years ago, I studied from a book called the Phillips technique, and his idea was that you would play a diminished chord like this, kind of feeling like you're pulling in on it. My teacher used to say, imagine there's a little ball under your palm pushing up a little bit, and try to keep your wrist level with the keyboard. And then while you have all that together, just like that, maybe try to lift up this finger while holding down the others. And play it. Now for a real challenge, try doing this one. Remember not to get too tight. So you go through each finger, and then when you've got that down, try doing combinations of fingers like this. And of course, the triplet is one of the most helpful rhythms in technique because it lets you accent both fingers in this, like this, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. You can also try this exercise just by holding down like C, E, F, and G. You can go. One interesting thing, you might not see immediately how this is important, but if you put it into a musical context, like even if I'm playing just regular chords, right now I'm not using any pedal, but it still sounds like the chord is sustaining. That's because I'm only lifting up the fingers that actually need to be lifted up. And to do this, it requires a bit of independence in your fingers. I'd like to take a little time to show you some of the things that I do with the Kurzweil synthesizer. For one, when I play out live, these days I only use a Kurzweil 2500X exclusively. No other racks or modules or anything. Everything is basically in this synthesizer. And of course, this unit is a synthesizer and a sampler, and that's part of what makes it really powerful. It's the merging of those two technologies that really makes it possible for me to do what I do and express myself. Let me show you some examples of some of the kinds of things that I do. It's possible to basically put a different sound on every key, but more than that, I can decide on specific layers per key. So you really have complete control over, okay, I want 3 sounds on the C sharp, and I want 1 sound on the G, and in this area I want another sound. Like for instance, in this sound, I specifically put the percussion underneath the various instruments that come in. I can hear the little tambourine roll, so if I go... So like on this sound, I chose a specific note that I knew I was going to play as part of the chord to bring in this motor sound. There's also like an orchestral hit that happens. And as I play, you have like a pizzicato and a xylophone type sound. So that's one of the tricks that I do to actually make happen live all that I play.